What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning right now? The Earth rotates at a speed of about 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. But what if that all suddenly stopped? The law of inertia states that an object in motion stays in motion. Everything not bolted down would be flung sideways at incredible speeds. Imagine objects, people, and even buildings flying sideways. Massive ocean waves or mega tsunamis would form, wiping out coastal cities. The atmosphere would continue to move, creating extreme winds faster than any hurricane ever recorded. In the long term, the climate and ecosystems would be devastated. One side of the Earth would face constant scorching sunlight, while the other would be plunged into a frozen, endless night. Our planet's motion keeps life stable. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the Earth, our silent, spinning home, suddenly stopped? For billions of years, it has faithfully completed its daily rotation, a constant rhythm that has defined life as we know it. But what if that rhythm, that cosmic dance, were to cease in an instant? The answer is not just unsettling. It is a vision of absolute apocalypse. Imagine this moment. 1 second, you're going about your day. The next, the ground beneath you screeches to a halt. But you don't. Nothing that isn't bolted to the planet's bedrock does. Due to inertia, the law of motion that says moving objects stay in motion, everything on the surface would continue traveling at the Earth's rotational speed. Near the equator, that's over 1,000 miles per hour. Instantly, every person, every building, every tree, every rock would be flung eastward, scoured from the surface in a global cataclysm. It would be like being hit by the most powerful shockwave imaginable, a horizontal force that would pulverize everything in its path. Cities would be turned to dust. Forests would be flattened. Mountains would crumble. The very air itself, still moving at incredible speeds, would become a wind more violent than any storm ever recorded. A hyper-hurricane that would sandblast the continents clean, generating friction so intense it would spark continent-wide firestorms. Simultaneously, the oceans, unbound by land, would surge. Their immense momentum would send them washing over the continents in mega tsunamis miles high, moving at the speed of a jetliner. These colossal waves would not just crash upon the shore. They would engulf entire landmasses, scouring the planet's surface down to the bare rock, mingling the waters of the Atlantic and Pacific over a submerged North America. Nothing could survive this initial, devastating impact. It is the end of the world, in a single, silent moment of stillness. If, somehow, anything were to survive this initial kinetic chaos, the long-term reality would be even more alien and terrifying. With the Earth no longer spinning, the familiar cycle of day and night would vanish. Instead, one day would last an entire year. For 6 straight months, one half of the planet would face the unrelenting, scorching gaze of the sun. Temperatures would soar to well over the boiling point of water, baking the land, evaporating the oceans, and turning the sun-facing hemisphere into a sterile, hellish desert. Any remaining water would boil away, creating a thick, suffocating atmosphere of steam. On the other side of the planet, an equal and opposite nightmare would unfold. Plunged into a 6-month night, the dark hemisphere would become a frozen wasteland. Temperatures would plummet to hundreds of degrees below zero, freezing the very air. Nitrogen would fall as snow upon an endless landscape of ice. A new ice age would descend, not over thousands of years, but in a matter of weeks. Between these two extremes of fire and ice, a narrow band of perpetual twilight would exist. A sliver of the globe, where the sun hangs forever on the horizon. One might imagine this as a potential refuge, but it would be a land of perpetual violence. The extreme temperature difference between the hot and cold sides would create the most powerful winds in the solar system. Air from the hot side would rush towards the cold, creating a permanent, planet-girding storm system far more powerful than anything on Jupiter. Life in this twilight zone would be impossible, constantly battered by winds that would tear anything apart. The planet's geography itself would change. The centrifugal force from Earth's spin currently causes it to bulge at the equator. Without that spin, gravity would be the sole force shaping the planet. The equatorial bulge would collapse. The water that once covered 70% of the globe would redistribute, pulled by gravity towards the poles. This would create 2 massive polar oceans, separated by a single colossal supercontinent, wrapped around the planet's new, dry equator. The world map as we know it would be gone, replaced by a simple, stark division of land and water. Perhaps the most insidious change would occur deep within the Earth's core. The rotation of our planet is what powers its geodynamo, the churning of its molten iron core. This process generates Earth's magnetic field, an invisible shield that protects us from deadly solar radiation and cosmic rays. If the spinning stops, the dynamo fails. The magnetic field would decay and vanish. Without this shield, the sun's fury would be unleashed upon our world. Streams of charged particles, the solar wind, would strip away what's left of our atmosphere, just as they did to Mars billions of years ago. Harmful radiation would bombard the surface, making it utterly inhospitable to any form of life. Any survivors of the initial cataclysm, cowering deep underground, would find their last refuge irradiated. The planet would become a barren, radioactive rock, exposed and defenseless in the harshness of space. Ecosystems would not just collapse, they would be erased from existence. Photosynthesis, the foundation of most life on Earth, relies on the cycle of light and dark. Without it, plant life would perish, followed swiftly by every creature that depends on them. The oceans, once teeming with life, would either boil away or freeze solid. The intricate web of life, woven over billions of years of rhythmic spinning, would be irrevocably torn. This thought experiment is a chilling reminder of the delicate balance that makes our existence possible. Our planet's daily spin is not just a celestial curiosity that gives us sunrises and sunsets. It is the engine of our world. It drives our winds and our currents. It shapes our lands. It shields us from radiation. It creates the stable, predictable environment that allowed life to emerge, evolve, and ultimately, to wonder about the stars. The constant, silent rotation of the Earth is a gift, a cosmic ballet that we are a part of every second of every day. It is the rhythm of life itself. The day it stops is the day everything we have ever known, and ever could know, comes to a final, definitive end. As you feel the solid ground beneath your feet, remember the incredible journey you are on, hurtling through space on a spinning world that is, for now, a perfect and precious home. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into the cosmos thought-provoking, please like this video and subscribe for more explorations into the what-ifs of our universe.